Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Today we are going to see Keynes' psychological laws of consumption. Keynes propounded the fundamental psychological law of consumption, which forms the basis of consumption function. He stated that the fundamental psychological law upon which we are entitled to depend with great confidence, both prior from our knowledge of human nature and from the detailed facts of experience, is that men are disposed as a rule and on the average to increase their consumption as their income increases, but not by much as the income increases in their income. His psychological law of consumption. The law implies that there is a tendency on the part of the people to spend on consumption less than the full increment of income. In this diagram, we can say that show you income. When the income is there, the consumption is different. And the income is going on increasing, but the consumption increases not equal to the income. According to the income rises. Let us see the assumption. Keynes' law is based on the following assumptions. Number one, there are three assumptions. Let us see one by one. Number one, ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus is nothing but all things being equal. The other variables such as income, distribution, taste, habits, social customs, price movement, population, growth, etc. do not change and consumption depends on income alone. Number two, existence of normal conditions. The law holds good under normal conditions. If, however, the economy is faced with abnormal and extraordinary circumstances like war, revolution, or hyperinflation. What do you mean by revolution? I think you know. Action takes place by a large group of people they will try their level best to change the government of a country. That is called as a revolution. Hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is nothing but a monetary inflation which is occurring at a very high rate is called hyperinflation. The law will not operate. People may spend the whole of increased income on consumption. Number three, the existence of laissez-faire capitalist economy. The law operates in a rich capitalist economy where there is no government intervention. People should be free to spend increased income. In the case of a regulation of private enterprise and consumption expenditures by the state, the law breaks down. Let us see the propositions of the law. What do you mean by proposition? Proposition is nothing but an idea, a plan, a suggestion. Okay, so let us see the propositions of the law. The law has got three propositions. Number one, when income increases, consumption expenditure also increases, but by a smaller amount. Number two, the increased income will be divided in some proportion between the consumption expenditure and saving. Number three, increase in income always leads to an increase in both consumption and saving. Let us see in detail. The reason in first one, when income increases, consumption expenditure also increases, but by a smaller amount. The reason is that as income increases, our wants are also satisfied by side, so that the need to be spent more on consumer goods diminishes. So the consumption expenditure increases with increase in income but less than proportionately. Two, the increased income will be divided in some proportion between consumption expenditure and saving. This follows from the first proposition because when the whole of increased income is not spent on consumption, the remaining is saved. In this way, consumption and the saving move together. 3. Increase in income always leads to an increase in both consumption and saving. This means that increased income is unlikely to lead to fall in either consumption or in saving. Thus, with increased income, both consumption and saving increase. Let us see all the propositions of the law in a table. Income is Y, consumption is C, and saving is S is equal to Y minus C. 120 minus 120 is equal to 0. 180 minus 170 is equal to 10. 240 minus 220 is equal to 20. And let us see the first proposition. Income increases by 60 crores and the increase in consumption is by 50 crores. How do we get this 50 and 50? That is 170 minus 120. This 170. C by Y. Okay. 170 minus 120, we get 50. Then 180 minus 120, that is difference. That is, we have already seen in the formula. That is, difference means changes. Okay, triangle we have seen. So the income increases by 60 crores and the increase in consumption by 50 crores. So position 2. The increase in income 60 crores in each case is divided in some proportion between the consumption and the saving respectively. That is 50 crores and 10 crores. How do we get 10 also? We have seen. The third proposition. As income increases, consumption as well as the saving also will be increasing. Neither consumption nor saving has fallen. That means it's going on increasing. Just 10, 20, likewise. So it has not fallen. The consumption and the saving has not. Consumption also increasing and the savings also increasing. It has not fallen down. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.